Hello, hi, it's Josh. How are you? I've been away. I've been at the beach in Cape May for most of a week, and I had all these thoughts that I would record things while I was there, but I got who can believe it? I got swept up at the beach and doing nothing. So I took a little break, but I'm back. I have a little catching up to do because I saw some things before I went away that I didn't review, and then I saw something last night. So I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'll have thoughts on that. I think right now what I'm going to do is just clear out the warehouse, which is only a few things. I saw Twisters, which is now old news. I mean, it's like, it's a week and a half later or whatever, so it's basically like had its moment. Fairly well regarded, but also incredibly, like, obviously forgettable because it's being forgotten right now. I think that the intention was that it would be like a Top Gun Maverick level, sensation. And while I don't think it's been panned as terrible, it just kind of is like, some people are like, yeah, okay. People who are fans of the original, for whatever reason, I think are satisfied with the new one. So anyway, I'm sure I saw Twister, the original, probably on video in the 90s. And whatever, it was what it was. It had cool people in it, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton, the rest. But I didn't. All I remembered was bad CGI, and I know it's like considered to be good CGI. It was like kind of the height of the art form at the time, or of the industry. But I was also, I've told you before, very snooty in the 90s, and so CGI cows flying through the air was just like a thing that I made fun of. It wasn't like whatever. So I'm a little more laid back now, and I'm open to escapism and entertainment, and so I went to see Twisters, with the same expectations I'd have for any Lego sequel reboot thing. So it's fine. I mean, they do some interesting things and they do some ridiculous things. It is an incredibly repetitive movie. There are twisters, and the characters with different motivations chase those twisters and do different things inside of them and around them, and they have plans, and things go wrong and they're bad, and somebody wants to quit and they come back, and then there's a guy that you thought was the nice guy who maybe isn't, and there's a guy who you thought was a jerk and maybe he isn't. It's just like, it's not a great travelogue for Oklahoma, I'll tell you that. They're having constant bouts of record tornadoes, and you can just wake up in the morning any given day and decide which of the 8 twisters you're going to pursue. So that I thought was interesting. But Glenn Powell is the hot guy of the moment, and I hadn't, I talked about him in Hitman, a movie that I rather liked, how I kind of had to come around on him, that he's like just a little too cut and a little too hot and a little too perfect. But I saw somebody say, like, he's kind of this perfect blank slate for all these reboot things. Like, that's why he's in Top Gun, and that's why he's in Twisters, and I guess he's rumored to be in more of these kind of movies. So I mean, I guess somebody has to fill that purpose. But I'm glad Hitman gave him a chance to like actually act a role, an original role. It was weird. You see my review on that. That's a weird movie that I came down positive on in the end, and he wasn't the problem necessarily. I'm not sure that he was well cast in it, because he's supposed to play this kind of loser, and Glenn Powell's just not going to occupy the space of a loser, even in a movie. So I don't know what else to say about Twisters. I already can't remember the name of the protagonist, of the main character. I'm very sorry. I feel bad about that. She is like, a tornado chaser, and she has this scientific idea that she can actually like dissipate a tornado from inside by sending in little drones and absorbing the moisture and whatever, and it's ridiculous. But her plan goes really wrong in the opening of the movie, and so then she goes away, moves to New York. New York is where you go when you give up on your dreams, apparently. And she has to be brought back into the game. But there was a rumor before this came out that she was going to be Helen Hunt's daughter, and that's not the case. And I think they made the decision not to have it. I don't think there's a legacy character in this. Maura Tierney plays her mother, who's an actor I love to see. And I assumed she just smacks of like legacy character, but apparently she wasn't in Twister. So I guess they just made the choice to have no connections whatsoever. My favorite part is Paul Scheer's cameo, which is at the very, very end. When you see Paul Scheer, the movie is just about over. And that made me smile. So that's Twisters. I don't know. I'm too late. There's no point in me even saying this, and that's why I'm kind of packaging this with a couple of other thoughts. I'm already forgetting what they were here on this beautiful Friday morning. But I guess this would be as good a place as any to follow up with my Longlegs thoughts and do some spoiler talk. So if you only came here for the Twisters review, I'm done. It's fine. It's kind of weird actually, but it's not a bad movie. If that's all you came for and you don't want to have Longlegs spoiled, then maybe take a hike. Okay, so Longlegs, watch my review. I love the filmmaking, and I said that I had issues with the story. The story is just underwhelming. So essentially, it's an FBI procedural about trying to catch a serial killer who calls himself Longlegs, and he's killed many families, many people specifically in family homes without ever actually entering those homes. Okay, and here's where the spoilers begin. So basically, the resolution of the story is that it turns out he is like a devil worshiper, and he's using the power of Satan and imbuing it into objects, which then go into their homes and make the people evil and make them kill each other. Train's coming. That's going to be interesting. I'm sitting here literally parked next to the train tracks at home. So that's, I mean, whatever, that could be, and it is interesting. The filmmaking, as I say, is really interesting. Nicolas Cage's performance is weirdly restrained, and then it's not when it needs to not be anymore. But like, it's all very fascinating. But as soon as this train goes by, which you might have caught a glimpse of there, I'm going to tell you what it is about it that was a letdown. Morning, commuters. There it goes. You can see it a little bit over there. Okay, my house is right there. The train is right there. Welcome to hell. All right. So the resolution of the movie is basically that, and I'm not going to spoil everything, but basically the main character is an FBI agent who discovers that she is psychically connected to this whole thing, and she's trying to solve the case and get proof that Longlegs is the killer. She's trying to figure out, what does this have to do with me? So let me just cut to the chase. There are two things in modern horror movies that I would be happy to never see again. And those are creepy dolls and nuns. Okay? And what is the big denouement of Longlegs? What is the final act surprise? It's a nun bringing a creepy doll into people's homes, which has like a concentrated Satan nugget in its head, and that makes people go crazy and kill each other. It's not really a nun. It's not fair, but she's wearing a habit. And I'm not even going to say who the character is, but it's a character, an older lady with a relationship to another character. And she used to be a nurse in a Catholic kind of hospital. So she wears a habit. So she looks like a nun, and she comes to your house and says, "You've won the raffle at the church." And she gives you this doll, and it's a doll I won't get into the details either of the doll. I'll just say like that's what it is. And I was so, in the theater, I was just so like disappointed by that. I was like, that's what it is? This movie, the marketing is so good, the filmmaking is so good, the storytelling is so good, all these like tantalizing promises of horror and things you've never seen before, and what's it gonna be? And it turns out to be a nun with a creepy doll. I found that to be deeply disappointing. From a story standpoint, I still give this movie 4 stars. It's great. It's so well done that I forgive it of that. And, you know, the specifics of the way it handles it, the type of, what it does and the way it ends, it's a bleak ending. It's that kind of horror movie. It's not going to, it's not going to be okay. And it also sets up the possibility of future stories, but I think more spoilers. Again, you were warned. I hope you're not watching this if you haven't seen the movie, if you're planning to see the movie. But Nicolas Cage will not be around for sequels, so I'm not sure I want to follow the, I guess the nun's not going to be around either. So anyway, I just spoiled a lot of stuff about Longlegs, but there's one other thing here, and I guess I'm going to end with this. I'm really just doing two things in this video, but there's a moment in Longlegs that I love. And by the way, I can't emphasize enough, Longlegs is really good. If you like filmmaking and you like horror and you want to see something 2/3 of which are very fresh and different and wonderful, see Longlegs. Just if not just for Nicolas Cage's performance, but one of the elements of this is, as I say, the occult, that Longlegs is a Satanist and he's doing all of this for Lord Satan, and his final scene in the movie, it takes this to heights that are bonkers and wonderful. But as a result, a lot of the clues that the FBI has to sort through are occult related, and now that's kind of a grab bag in movies. They just take anything that sounds creepy and cool. So there's Bible stuff, and then there's like lore stuff that's not necessary. So here's an interesting thing about me. I've mentioned this before, I've teased it before, but I come from a religious background. I have a complicated relationship with religion now that I won't get into, but I have a master's degree in biblical literature, and so I know my way around a Bible and around dogma and doctrine and things like that. And so one of my sticking points is I'm a little bit pedantic about references to that stuff in movies. Not that I want it to be pure and good and right and don't be creative. You can be creative and crazy, because spoiler alert to my worldview about the Bible, it's a work of creative human creative effort, whatever else that you might believe it is. It's literature, it's ancient literature, and it's crazy. We don't know, it's got genre, it's got like authorship and all that stuff. So I'm not saying it has to be to the letter. I'm just saying there's a lot of lazy references to the Bible and religion in movies where they just kind of make stuff up. And all I'm saying is, there's a moment in this movie where someone says, "That's from the book of Revelations." And the main character is pedantic and says, "It's Revelation. There's no S." And for what it's worth, that was a little character moment. But hearing that actually happen in a movie and having someone be pedantic correctly about something to do with the Bible tickled me. I've thought that maybe that would be something I can do. That I have this, master's degree. I'm not a minister. I'm not in the church. That's not where I work and do things. It was just kind of a pursuit of my past. But I have all this interest and all this knowledge, and I thought it might be fun, either at a video series or a podcast or something, to kind of just like look at movies that use religious stuff and talk about the way they use it. So that might be something that I consider pursuing moving forward. I don't know if anyone has any interest in that. I know it's very prickly, because I'm not trying to do a religious show. I'm also not like a big atheist. So I'm kind of like in this middle ground where I'm interested in kind of the creative aspects of it, and the cultural aspects of it. And, I don't know. Let me know if you have any interest in that, or if that's weird and creepy. This is a weird video. I reviewed an incredibly bland movie, and then I spoiled a great movie, and now I'm talking nonsense. But that's going to be enough for now. I'll be back very soon, probably in this same shirt with my Deadpool review. But thank you so much for your time. It's a pleasure being back from the beach and talking to you about movies. I love talking about movies, So I think there's something to this idea. I don't know what I would call it or how it would proceed, but I think there's a lot of stuff there that maybe isn't being talked about, and maybe I could lead that charge. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Josh out.